Today, we're going to talk specifically to those of you that are worrying, because when you worry, you are keeping away exactly the thing that you desire. So let's dive into this, because some people think that they have to worry, that they have to be fearful. So let's have an honest discussion about that. So when you're Welcome to Manifesting Your Heart's Desires, the place where I get to teach you everything that I know about manifesting and living a life that you absolutely love. I'm Beth McGill. I'm your host, spiritual mentor, guide, energy healer, and with a unique perspective and experience from being a hypnotherapist. I love teaching everything about manifesting. And today, we're going to talk specifically to those of you that are worrying, because when you worry, you are keeping away exactly the thing that you desire. So let's dive into this, because some people think that they have to worry, that they have to be fearful. So let's have an honest discussion about that. It hasn't happened yet. Why is that? Why do we tend to worry? Why do we tend to think, oh, my son's not home from work yet. It's getting late. I wonder if he got into an accident. Yeah, that's where our mind goes, right? We tend to go to the negative. Well, for me, I've been able to figure out how to let that go. And I can't wait to take you through an exercise today and talk a little bit more about worrying and what it's actually doing. So I have a lot of experience with this. You see, as a child, I remember my parents and my siblings calling me a worrywart. Like we would go camping and I would worry about every little thing. Now, as an adult, I grew out of a lot of that. But one thing I noticed was that when my sons left the home and went to live on their own, having an adult child leave the home is quite an experience. And if you're a parent and you've experienced, and if you're a child and you experience that, you also have that different perspective, but you understand the thoughts and the feelings that the parent's going through. So I can remember getting to a point, though, where I realized I can't do this anymore. I understood that worrying and being concerned about my adult children was not serving me. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't a positive vibe. And so I made a conscious decision to stop that. Now, I also know of another woman, and she was in her later years, and she had an adult daughter who was in her 30s. And I was working with her, and she was a worrywart. Like, she was unapologetic. She would worry about everything, and she knew that it wasn't good for her, but it was so ingrained in her and it had become her identity. And one day I had a chance to speak with her daughter, and it was about conversation about something else, but I just asked her, "How are you doing?" She goes, "You know what?" And I'll never forget her answer, because it was so specific and so spot on. And I loved getting her perspective. But she said, "I will never be okay until my mom stops worrying about me." Those were her exact words. And they just floored me. And I thought, that's so true, though, because worrying is a thought. And what is a thought? It's energy. And our children, or vice versa, we can feel each other's energy. So this daughter was feeling all of that worry and fear that the mother was projecting out into the universe. The daughter was feeling it. She's like, I can't be okay. Like, she needed her mom to stop worrying about her. And thank goodness her mom did take a course with me and is doing much better. And the last I heard, both mother and daughter were doing much better, very well. In fact, they were thriving. So we do need to remember that thoughts are energy, and we are in charge of our thoughts. There is no one in your head thinking for you. You don't have to worry. You get to choose your thoughts that you want to. Instead of worrying that your son is in an accident because he's coming home late from work, you can think, oh, maybe his boss really respects his work. He asked him to work late. We can tell any story we want to tell. But here's the thing. Worrying comes from fear. And if you're in a fear-based mindset, you're not going to be able to manifest what you want. Now, I heard this great demonstration, explanation of manifesting from Matthias DeStefano. And he said, talking about manifesting and what it was, he said, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions must be in alignment. He said, like, there's a line right here. So your thoughts and your feelings and your action. He goes, your feelings, it's in your heart center. So you have to be feeling good. You have to be in alignment with what it is you desire. And if you're in a place of fear or worry, it's going to take you right out of that alignment. And then he said, so you must set that intention in your heart of what you desire. And then he said, it's not just that. He said, there's also this other spectrum. One is receiving, the other one is giving. So let's say you want to start a new business, and that's what your intention is. And you would want to put that in your heart center. I intend to have a thriving business. Well, your thoughts and your feelings have to be in alignment with that intention. And so do your actions. You can't be worrying, oh my gosh, this business is never going to take off. That would be out of alignment. You would be worrying about an outcome that you do not desire. And of course, we know that the law of attraction will take that energy, what you're putting attention to, and give you more of that. And then again, it's setting that attention, but it's not just about receiving, it's about giving as well. So having that balance. And I thought that was such a beautiful reminder. And he said, that's what manifesting is. When you're in alignment, your thoughts, your feeling, your intention, your actions, and you're in flow with giving and receiving, then whatever it is that you want to manifest occurs. So you see, if we're worrying, that is taking us out of alignment. And it's also taking us out of alignment with our soul, because our soul is in constant joy. Our soul is happy. Our soul is not worrying about something that may go wrong in the future. Like, it's not. And so your worrying is an emotional response. It's an indicator to you that you're not in alignment to your soul. So what can you do? You can think a better feeling thought. It's having that awareness. Oh, I'm worrying. What am I worried about? Am I worried about what I don't want, or am I more concerned about what I do want? What outcome am I giving my attention to? So here are some questions that you can ask yourself to really get crystal clear on where you're at. And these questions can help you. I suggest journaling these answers so that you get crystal clear, because you're the one that's in charge of these thoughts that are in your head. Want to manifest your heart's desires? I highly recommend that you do this exercise to see what thoughts you're having about what it is that you desire. So number one is having awareness, like I said. So you can ask yourself, what am I worried about? Journal it. Why am I worried? Why am I worried that my son's in an accident? I know he's a good driver. I know the car is newer. So why am I worried? Am I just going to the worst case scenario? Probably. Stop it, right? So why am I worried? Does my worry improve the situation? Is it making it better? Probably not. But it's a good question to ask yourself, because it reminds you that your worrying is not helping anybody. It's certainly not helping you, and it's not helping anyone else that you're worried about. And finally, how does worrying make me feel? How do I feel? And really sit with that. When I worry, how do I feel? And then from my hypnotherapist background and experience, I'll also ask another question. And that is, where is the worry? Like, where is it in your body? How do you know it's there? How does it make you feel? And really pinpoint it. The more awareness you have, the more you're going to be able to let it go. So really pinpoint it. And what will start to happen is you will realize that, yes, I'm worried about something. It's not helping the situation. I'm not helping the other person. I don't feel good. Why am I doing this? I'm going to change my thought. I'm going to stop worrying about this. I'm going to choose to think positively about this situation or about this person. So we have awareness of what you're worrying about. The other thing that you want to ask yourself is, what access to information is there that I possibly might need? Do I need to learn something about this situation? If you're worried about something at work, is there something that you could learn to take away that information? Or if you're worrying about, maybe, someone has an illness and you say you're worried about them or for them. Still not doing any good, but go get some information. It's something proactive that you can do that is positive. Is there a resource that I could benefit from? So what can I learn from? Is there a resource? And is there something about the situation, about this person, or the circumstance that I need to learn about? If I'm worried about something at work, maybe I need to learn more about what's going on. What is really the situation? Is it what I think it is, or is it something else? So those questions I would definitely journal on to see where you are. And then realize that if worrying doesn't feel good, and if you come to the conclusion that it is absolutely not helping anyone, taking proactive steps to say, and not just proactive steps, but a conscious decision, and say, I'm going to change this behavior. I'm going to change this behavior because it's not serving me. It's not helping anyone else. And it's keeping me out of alignment. It's keeping me from really having what I desire. And sometimes what people are worried about is what other people will think. And ask those same questions about that, because what other people think is none of your business. This area of self-improvement and personal growth and development is all about 100% about you. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And when we're in this area and we're learning about manifesting and understanding about self-love, there's no judgment. You want to get to the place where you're loving yourself unconditionally. There can't be any judgment of anyone else. So you don't want to focus or allow yourself to focus on anyone else's judgment of you. It does not play in the situation. If you want to truly manifest your heart's desires, you must be in alignment with your soul, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And you need to understand that this is a place of ease and flow. It's not a place of worry and fear and judgment. That's not what manifesting is all about. Manifesting is living a life in joy. Living a life in joy, loving life, being in flow, knowing that when you're living this way, you're going to attract everything that you need. The universe is taking care of everything. Things will manifest. You don't have to work hard at them. You don't have to worry about them. We're taught that we have to struggle and worry and live in this place of fear. And worry is a big part of that. But you need to let it all go, because it has no place in manifesting. It has no place in living this life of joy and being able to attract everything that you want, from money to relationships to love, joy. Fear doesn't have a place. The only place that fear has is if you don't want to walk across a freeway, right? No, that's common sense. So think about those questions and understand that if you're having a difficult time, if you say, I'm like that lady that you were talking about, like I identify with fear and worrying, and I don't know how to get out of this rut. I don't know how to get out of this cycle of I just worry about everything. Then schedule a call with me. I would love to talk to you. And I believe that, if these questions aren't enough, I can give you some other recommendations, some things that you can do as well. So you can go to my website, thriveflourishgrow.com, schedule a call with me, and I am more than happy to talk with you. I love talking to people that are in a place of fear. Why do I love it? Because I love to see the transformation. I love to see the ahas. I love to see people living a life of ease, where they're not worried, where they're not in fear. So if that's you, give me a call, schedule a call. So you see, it really is that simple, but like they say, it's not that easy. You have to do a little bit of work, a little bit of self-awareness to see exactly where you are, but understand there's hope. You don't have to live in this place of this cycle, this loop of worrying about every little thing in your life. You don't need to worry. You don't need to be afraid. You can live a place, enjoy and love. And what happens when you let this worry go? Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful, because then you receive freedom. You really receive freedom of thought. You understand that, I can worry or I cannot. And when you have that freedom, you're going to think positive thoughts. You're going to think, my child's late from work. I'm sure they're in a working late, or having a conversation, or on a call, or went to a friend's house. You're not going to think the worst anymore. If you're worried about something that you do have control of, then do something about it. If you're always late to work and you're worried about being late to work, do something about it. Set your clock earlier. Sometimes people get in a cycle, this loop of worrying about things that they do have control of. So again, go back to those questions. What am I worried about? Why am I worried? Does it improve the situation to worry? And how does worrying make me feel? Where is it in my body? Identify it so you can let it go. Meditate on it. But it's really that awareness. If I can identify it, if I realize that it's not serving me, I consciously can let it go. And then the other questions that can be very important here are, what information do I need? Is there a resource, or is there something that I need to learn about the situation? Can I dig a little bit deeper? Maybe I'm worried because I just don't have all the facts. So awareness and access. I believe that those questions will really help you. Have more questions, please put them in the comments. And again, want to schedule a call with me? I would love to talk with you. Simply go to thriveflourishgrow.com and schedule a call. I can't wait to see your comments, and I look forward to seeing you on other shows. If you would like a guided meditation for this topic, I have already done a couple of guided meditations for lessening anxiety. Go take a listen. All right, thanks. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.